A psychedelic tapestry would be cool. Behind me.
It would be cool. You already have a girlfriend, so there wouldn't be any worry of like a girl walking in and being like, oh, and then turning around, you know? Because that's kind of like the live, love, laugh for guys. Right?
Well, white girls in college also have the sort of mandala tapestry blanket thing. A lot of them. And with Christmas lights, with white Christmas lights, that's like a vibe.
There's a more like a sort of like a muted sort of like, you know, but guys have like more of the vibrant, you know, full on like Tool album cover tapestries.
I would love a like a coronation of Napoleon picture, you know.
It just takes up the whole wall.
Just to really say like, I love monarchies.
Oh yeah, monkeys?
No, monarchies.
Oh, monarchies. I love monkeys.
I love monkeys, just like Napoleon did when he was exiled to the Galapagos or something like that. No, but it's like, it's fucked up because it's like Napoleon is literally a bastard. Like he's a colonialist bastard. But that like picture is fire. Have you ever like look up the coronation of Napoleon? It's one of the coolest looking like.
Now, what you're saying, he's a bastard, like he was born out of wedlock.
You're a bastard born in a basket. No.
Yeah, this is
actually that might still be true, but
Napoleon.
It's him putting the crown on himself, type shit.
Oh wow, yeah.
And it's like, I want to say it's like, where's it hanging? Oil painting has imposing dimensions. It's almost 33 feet wide.
Holy shit.
And 20 feet tall. Yeah, that's why it's sick. It's just like this.
You could fit like a quarter of it on that wall behind you.
Dude, for real. Yeah, that's absurd to think about. And where is it hanging?
The crown? On his penis.
He's dangling the crown on his stick.
He's like spinning it around.
He's like
helicoptering.
Take the crown off my penis and you'll be below. Where is it now? I don't know where. Oh, it's at the no. It's at the Met?
Dude, you were just there.
Dude, I gotta go see it.
Weren't you just there?
Yeah, dude. I love the Met, man.
Didn't see that?
I fucking love the Met, mates. Okay, maybe
I've never been there.
Dude. I was saying if I get some guapioni, some guapo
Guaperonis Rex.
Yeah. Some guapo trap house. I will try to organize a situation where you and Max come here.
Yeah.
And we were talking about this just the other day, right?
Yeah, last night.
Yeah. Like maybe we just start doing Christmas here. We start doing what we do in St. Louis here.
Would be a neat thing.
Here. But I do like going back to St. Louis and like get those emos motherfucking wings.
Yeah.
Those toasty ravies.
So good. I had some on my recent trip. It was the Supreme. Yeah.
Oh my God, dude. You could just munch 100 of those.
My mom just got one. She just got one extra large. Me and her and my dad.
I meant the toasty ravies, but
the toasty ravies. Yeah, we didn't even get any of those. She didn't get. Yeah, I don't know. It was emo, so it was nice, but it's like, fuck.
Fuck. Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah. What the
get
fuck,
the toasty
Mom?
Ravies. And
get the toasty ravies.
And at least 2 larges.
At least 2 larges, and why not just some wings also?
Right. You're barely breaking $100 at that point.
Yeah. You're barely cracking 3 digits on the price there. Yeah. But that would be cool. And then we could like go to the Met. We'd go to MoMA. You could go to Central Park. Have you ever been in New York?
Nah.
Doggy. It's like being in a different. It feels like you're at the center of the world, kind of.
Yeah.
It feels like you're at the center of the world, but at the same time, you're just in like not a small town, but you're just in like a place. You're just in a place. It doesn't feel like totally alien. It does sometimes because there's a lot of people that live here that are not from here, like myself. But in other times, there's a really long tradition and culture of New York, and there's a lot of people from New York in New York still. So it's both. But there's nothing like it. A lot of New Yorkers don't really like Manhattan. I being a transplant kind of still do.
Why don't they like Manhattan?
I think it's just like if you live here, you get over it kind of quickly. I think the excitement of it, the spectacle of it, for me, the feeling of it is still pretty potent. Like it still feels like I'm in a motherfucking city.
Right.
The Met, I love. What?
I was going to say it's such a big change from Chesterfield or Kirkwood or whatever, but you were living in Boston and LA before this, so you had kind of eased into the big city.
Boston was really cool because it did feel like you were in a big city in comparison to St. Louis. Felt like you were in a city. There were trains, There were trains.
Other trains too.
Yeah. There were other trains. There were kooks running around the streets doing smack. Dude, the one thing that's true about Boston is they have the most aggressive homeless people out of any city I've ever been to.
Really?
Oh my God. They will just run up to you and bother you.
Damn.
Yeah. Those motherfuckers in Boston do not give a fuck. New York, it's kind of like if you don't make eye contact with them. I know I'm talking about them in such otherizing language, but the houseless folk, they don't bother you that much in New York. But going to Boston, it was like, okay, this is like a big city. Living in LA was like, oh man, this is a big city, but it kind of sucks. Like you got to drive everywhere. Right. It's cool, but it's like, it's a weird place to suffer in. It's weird to suffer in a place with a temperate climate year round, basically.
Right. It's like a beautiful environment. Well, I mean, I guess not like this smoggy city.
Not even really. It's more like a hazy. It's like a hazy, druggy sort of like beach bummy vibe more than it is like paradise.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is it hazy everywhere? I thought it was just like kind of smoggy in the city, but like if you're out,
it's smoggy most of the time.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially now. It's smoggy.
That's why everyone's leaving.
But there are sunny days. I mean, there's clear days a lot of the times too. But in the morning, it's very smoggy, and there's just different. It's just different vibes. But a lot of the time, it feels like it's like smoggy but cool, and like
cool smog.
It can
like
be quiet. It can be quiet sometimes too. It's kind of a trippy place. I do kind of like Los Angeles for what it is, because it is like. It is sort of like the elephant's graveyard of fucking the entertainment industry. It's like the infrastructure hollowed out and like fucked up, and just like it's the aftermath of the 20th century kind of on display. Whereas New York is just like, it's just been completely stripped down and replaced. Like it's just been every building gets fucking destroyed and rebuilt. It's awful. It's not like Europe where there's a bunch of old buildings.
Right.
It's like rare, but then again, there's like my apartment is old.
Yeah, I was gonna say there's gonna be a lot of old buildings still.
There is, but
the big ones though, the fucking skyscrapers that are like a needle, like right next to Central Park, where they're like,
I mean, you still got like old school Art Deco-y buildings, but there's so many just giant glass flat skyscrapers now, and it sucks. No, Skyline sucks now. It doesn't suck, but it's like there's so many fucking just god awfully boring looking buildings that are tall as shit. There's one building, let me look it up. Tallest building in New York. It's probably still the One World Trade Center.
No, because I remember like I looked it up on Google Maps, like the 3D version, and was like keeping the downtown, and there's like 2 or 3 newer apartment buildings, I think.
Yeah.
That are just like the tallest shit I've ever seen, and they're like 20 feet wide.
There's Steinway Tower, which is, it could be worse, but it's still pretty dumb looking. Which is 111 West 57th Street. It's kind of by, it's right by Central Park, and it's like it's a big. It looks like somebody like it's like a switchblade or something.
Yeah, like a nail file.
Yeah, and then there's I'm trying to find the other one. That's I think it's Central Park Tower. Yeah, Central Park Tower, I think, is the one I'm thinking of. It's one. Central Park Tower is an example of one of these types of buildings. It's just like, it's tall as shit, and it's completely unremarkable looking. Mm-hmm. But the real one, maybe it is Central Park Tower. It's the one that just looks like it's literally just square. Oh, yeah. This is what it is. 432 Park Avenue condominium. 432 Park Avenue. This is the most pointless, dumb building in New York, and try to find it in a skyline picture, because it just looks like someone just randomly it looks terrible, dude.
Yeah, it looks like a Sims like skyscraper.
Like the most boring person in the world made a Sims skyscraper. Absolutely.
Like default skyscraper number 1.
And it's like, I've heard that there's apparently like money being laundered into that. It's just kind of like a scam. It's not even, no one really lives in there.
Oh, wow.
I mean, that's just what I've heard, man.
Nothing on the rooftop either.
It sucks.
Yeah, but it's 6 windows wide.
Is it really?
On all sides.
Must be some big ass windows.
For real.
But yeah, living in Boston, LA, it did prime me for New York, but I don't know, man. It's just like, I just want to live in cities until further notice, because it's like, that's where life is happening. That's where culture and life is happening.
It's true.
That's where shit's happening. People are. Even if it's not cool shit, even if it's lame shit, at least shit is happening. Yeah. You know, if it was better before, great. I wasn't there. I was in fucking St. Louis when it was better.
Doesn't exist anymore. It's the past.
Yeah, it's dead. And now I'm here.
Dead and gone and forgotten forever.
But it's yeah, man. Anyways, you guys, I think, would have a real blast. You could come to, Brooklyn, in my area. There's a bunch of fucking bars. We could go fucking downtown. We could do karaoke. We could fucking do all kinds of shit. Central Park. We go to the Met. We could do that. We could do all kinds of shit. It would just be fun. Like, it's just a big ass city.
Yeah, no. What I'm thinking is like,
that's what I was saying. It'd be cool to do like a vacation where it's just all I'm doing is just like
chilling.
Like a week where the three of us can just literally go out and do things in New York.
Yeah.
That would be amazing.
Mm-hmm. And then get some good sleep a few nights so we can actually spend like a couple days doing stuff, but then also go out a few nights too,
We could record, if you guys got an Airbnb, we could record Woke Boke in New York live.
We'll be tight. Yeah, no, because what I'm thinking is, obviously I would want to go back for like Christmas to St. Louis and spend a few days there. But then maybe, because it's like a Saturday, Sunday situation, I think, for Christmas. Or maybe it's Friday.
I'm thinking Saturday. This would happen in the springtime, maybe.
Oh, you're saying like a separate thing.
Yeah, like this spring, maybe we do this if I have the guaparancine.
That would be nice, because it'd be cool to go around not freezing cold.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. What do you think of that? Yeah.
What do you think of that?
Because
it'd be,
and then we could still do the annual sesh in St.
Louis
too. So
why not?
A separate.
I think if we started another tradition where every spring you guys just came to New York and hung out, that'd be pretty great.
Yeah,
pretty solid.
That'd be a time. Yeah.
I just got to figure out my life and make sure that that's not falling apart. So.
I'm sure it'll be fine.
Hey, I mean, worst comes to worst, I'm just gonna like live with John Harrop. I'm just gonna go home and live with John Harrop. What's up, buddy?
Yeah, he needs a roommate.
Hey Tony, shut the absolute goddamn fuck up, real quick.
All right.
All right.
All right.
Billy the Butcher. All right.
Not very polite.
Shut the fuck up real quick, mate.
Ask me more nicely, but all right.
I fucking forgot something, to be quite Frank Sinatra about it.
You stupid, dumb asshole.
Yep.
Well, fix the problem.
I forgot to introduce the podcast.
Connor.
Fuck. Grim. Ladies and gentlethems, it is Monday, September 12th. No, it's not. Oh, 9/11's tomorrow. That's wild. I thought 9/11 was Monday. No, it is Monday, September 12th, 2022. Welcome to another episode of Woken Boke. Boom!
Wow.
I bet you won't expect that, mate. Episode
Big surprise.
153 to be exact. I am one of your hosts, Connor Boyd. You may know me as Moschino Dorito on TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, all that shit. Maybe you know me from Jaded Forum and you followed me and you saw this on my story and you're like, wow, this is a different offering content-wise than that. Welcome, if that's the case. I am usually joined by two fellows. We are missing Mr. Max Sands today. He is on tour again, doing a couple shows with Newfound Glory Phenomena Band. And we're chilling here. Usually I am joined. Usually I am joined by both those fellows from the great Gateway to the West, St. Louis, Missouri. But here today we have the OG, the TH, the Tony Hawk, Mr. Motherfucking Tony Harrop is on the show, dude. Don, how you doing?
Loading cum into my dick like a musket.
I'm loading cum into my dick like a musket. If I was one of those British guys getting interviewed about the Queen's death, be like, what are your thoughts on Queen Elizabeth II's passing at 96? And I'd be like, I'm loading my dick with cum like a musket right now, to be honest. I'd be like, cut it. Cut the feed. Like, okay, that's quite enough. We don't. That's ridiculous. Every week, we get together and we catch up on the latest in shit like video games, music, anime, maybe some television, some comics, some manga, current events, our lives, internet trends, perhaps, all these things and more. Look, we're on everything. If you want to subscribe to us on YouTube, you'll get episodes every week. You can also follow us on Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts. It's all out there. You can also join a Discord we have. It's got about 250 plus popping peoples in it. You can also follow us on Twitter at wokenbokepod, Instagram at wokenbokepodcast, and you will get alerted via those platforms when we drop. I also announce it in the Discord all the time too, and we also have a Gmail, which we can answer some questions from. wokenbokepodcast at gmail.com. Wokenboke is spelled WOKENBOKEPODCAST. Wokenboke Podcast. So there you go, at gmail.com. And send us your questions, your comments, your suggestions, your insults, whichever you feel like sending, and we will read them on the show. Links to all of these are listed in the show description. By the way, okay, I thought my thing stopped. I'm just hyper, I don't want it to stop. So yeah, man, we're out here. We could read some emails if you feel like it.
Sure.
If any of them are addressed to Max, I'll save them. Right. But let's see. I need Ghost to sponsor me.
That would be fire.
So what?
Yeah, you got to get a sponsor from a like a food or beverage brand. That would be fire. Because then you'd get a bunch of free ones. You'd never have to pay for energy drinks.
Yeah, man. It would be tight.
You know how much that would save?
I want to. Do you know how much guap on chain that would save?
$40.
Hold on a second. Let me do this.
You good?
I'm good. I'm just transferring money, frankly, because I plan on spending more. Yes.
Good.
Good. All right. This email, we'll just start that for later because that's about business. Okay. This I'm going to say for Max because it's about Ava, and I don't think you've seen that, have you?
I watched 3.1 with you guys.
Right, but you haven't seen the show.
The anime? No.
The anime. Okay. This comes from Elvis. Elvis Presley is alive. What's up, Woke and Boke? Just wanted to say the pod is great. Almost always ripping the pod while I smoke, in parentheses, weed. Listening also helps time move a little faster at work. Started listening about 5 months ago, randomly found through Spotify. Interesting. But I've recently subbed on YouTube as well. Thanks for the good content. You guys make my days feel a little less boring and lonely. I'm a 19-year-old Hispanic male from Florida, if you guys were curious. Dude, Elvis, thank you.
Yes,
glad we could be glad. This is why we do it, man. This is why we do it. 153 episodes. We put it out there because we enjoy it and we know other people will, man. That's why.
Yeah, it's nice finding a podcast that you can just like zone out and listen to while you work.
Yeah.
But, if your job is boring, like there's definitely a few that I listen to that for that same reason,
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
And you just don't know what the ingredient's going to be, but when you find it,
right,
you find it.
Right. Okay, this is another collaboration offer thing. We'll talk about that later. This comes from what? Oh, okay. This comes from Yes.
Wow.
Thanks for the email. Yes. I'm like late to the game, but love Cardi a lot. I just listened to an old episode where I think it was Connor mentioned having Cardi's leaks on his phone. If so, can he share those? Just with me, I've played a whole lot of Red to death and need substance. Well, yeah, it's funny. I'll just show it. I have only one album, literally only one album on my iTunes on my iPhone, and it's a fake album I made that's called Whole Lotta Red, and I put this in my phone in 2020, and these are the songs. If you can see, probably cannot. I'll just read them. The songs are Intro, Neon, Can't Relate, Place. So Neon and Place are actually ended up on Whole Lotta Red. Yep. Molly, Butterfly Doors, I Want To, No Feel, Cancun, which Cancun, that never came out either. Did it? I don't think so.
No, it was not.
I don't think so.
Whole Lotta Red.
Houdini, really? Whoa, Did It Again, and Pissy Pamper, also known as Kid Cudi.
So just two then that were on that ended up on the album.
But it's fucked up because those are great songs, and I listened to them to death before that song came out.
Were they the exact same as on the album, or did he remix them?
I think basically, there might have. Place starts where the beat goes, and then they wait like a full bar, and then it goes again. That's not in the leak, but I like how they did that in Whole Lotta Red, Whole Lotta Red.
He's like, I'm in the back of the club, yeah, that's my place, something like that.
I'm in the back of the spot, yeah, this is my plate, yeah, hello. Yeah, there's new Cardi music being leaked, and it sounds like really chill. It's like totally different. Yeah, I've seen TikToks about the leaks. I wonder if I can find it. Yeah, man,
So you can probably just Google the name of those songs that you just listed off and find a download, I think.
Probably, yeah.
I
wonder if I can find it. I feel like I saved the sound, maybe. If it be big enough, I'm not going to try and find it now.
How's Neon go? He's like, it's a brand new Neon. Fucking no fear. Never know here.
Got the hose on Neon. Yeah, man. Those are the songs. Go look them up. Another Cardi song I really like is called Tattoos. The beat in that is crazy. Shutting in love and tattoos. I don't even remember.
Something like that. Yeah.
I think the chorus is like, I'm so addicted to drugs. I'm so addicted to drugs.
Wow.
Right.
What's he saying there? Yeah.
Ooh, this is crazy. I'll have to basically add this to the crepe episode. This image that was brought before me. Yeah. So I'll pop it up on the screen when I get to it here. This comes from Daniel, longtime listener, I believe. I know you hate the regular show comparison. Oh, this says, how often do you mow your lawn, Connor? My lawn in New York? I know you hate the regular show comparison, but looks your likeness made it to looks like your likeness made it to a brewery near me. Hope the trolls have chilled with that comparison. Can't imagine you being a pit viper man though. Can't wait to hear the new episode. Been missing you guys the last 2 Mondays. Just built my first gaming PC. Any PC exclusive recommendations you guys have? I've been playing Halo Infinite multiplayer since I was a PlayStation guy the last 2 console generations. Glad you guys are back. Hope the time off was good. Thank you so much, Daniel. And if you open the email, Tony, you could see the photo I'm looking at, but it's basically a ginger with a mullet and a mustache with the pit viper like riffraff glasses on, drinking a beer, mowing a lawn. It's pretty intense. But yes, that does look like me. It's
holy shit.
Yeah.
Dude, you gotta
I gotta copyright my likeness, dude.
For real.
Yeah. It's crazy. Lawn Boy.
Spider-Man's on PC. Was he asking for game recommendations? That finally came out on PC.
Yeah, exclusives. I don't know of any PC exclusives though. I guess maybe like Valorant. I would say like the shooters are the best PC exclusives. Like Valorant is great. Valorant's fantastic. Now everyone who plays Valorant hates it and fucking like is annoyed by it, and it's like the skill ceiling on Valorant and Counter-Strike is so high. It's just like there's literally a higher skill ceiling in Valorant and CSGO than there is in the NFL or the NBA. Literally.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's absurd because all it is your reaction time and your genetic talent, basically. Like it's absurd. The skill level that those players have is absolutely absurd. Like you could be world class and never make it as a pro. Like it's absurd, man. They are absurd. Anyways, maybe we'll do another email here.
Don't go through all of them.
Well, a couple of these I'm saving for Max. I think at least 2 I'll save for Max.
Yeah, we're getting quite a few then. That's cool.
Yeah.
Let's just do one more and then
this is all we got. I think the next the Ian sent us one. I think that's kind of geared towards Max. This is subject line Horizon Zero Dawn. Aaron asks, any updates, Connor? I couldn't bring myself to buy it after how insane Elden Ring was. Mentally ruined the idea of other open world games lately. Oh shit. Sent from my iPhone. Yeah, I can understand that. I remember going from playing Last of Us 2 to Ghost of Tsushima, and I felt depressed because I was like, this is not Last of Us 2. But I haven't played Elden Ring. I haven't, so maybe we can get into video games. I really I beat God of War, and then I got back into Jedi Fallen Order, which is a game I've always wanted to continue playing. I probably talked about this last episode.
Talked about it on the phone with me.
Okay.
When I was in St. Louis.
Okay, so I haven't. I played a little Horizon. I never finished Zero Dawn, but I watched a pretty long summary about what happens in the game and the lore and everything. Forbidden West is the one I'm playing, and I started playing it because it's a PS5 game. It came with the console, And I mean, it's pretty gorgeous. Like a PS5 like game made for the PS5 is pretty fucking gorgeous. It's nice. But I set it aside so I could kind of finish the games I had started, like God of War. I'm really happy. I've finished a lot of these games. Like I never thought I would finish Death Stranding or Jedi Fallen Order, but it looks like I'm finishing both of them, which is nice. So I beat God of War, and now I'm playing Jedi Fallen Order. But Horizon Forbidden West, yeah, it's gorgeous. I want to get more into it. I want to give it a good chance because I feel like a lot of games you got to give it like 5 or 6 hours nowadays, maybe more than that, to really feel like, all right, I get all the shit I can do.
Mm-hmm.
I also feel like it helps to play one game at a time and just focus on it until you beat it. Ideally, because when I first got the PS5, I was just jumping around to different games to see how they played on it, just testing it out. Mm-hmm. Like I would play Last of Us, I'd play God of War, I'd play Call of Duty, and yeah, it's one that I want to just sit with. And I say that because it's like you remember the mechanics and you remember the button layout and you remember like, switching around too much. It's like you forget.
Right.
Which throws you off. Like it'll throw you off the story. It'll throw you off because games, it's like if you're not privy to all the things you can do, you're having a diluted experience. So if you play it,
right.
if you play one game at a time, you keep that familiarity through your game, through your playthrough, and it maximizes the experience for me.
Yeah, I can barely switch between Halo and Call of Duty.
Right.
Like I'll be hitting the wrong buttons and shit. Yeah.
Right. So I'm setting it aside for now, but I'd like to talk about Jedi Fallen Order because when I first got that game, I queued it up and I was like, all right, I'm putting it on hard mode because fuck it, why not? And I didn't realize it's like a Dark Souls style game. Like that's what it is. It's exactly like Dark Souls. Like enemies kill you in a couple hits. You're fighting. It's just like Dark Souls. It's literally Star Wars Dark Souls. And it rules, honestly. Like I feel like I will have to get into Dark Souls 3. Even though those games are much less like linear and they're a little bit more difficult and they're a little bit more complex. But this style of game is fun as shit. And yeah, I like raged playing it the first time because I was like, why is it such bullshit? Like, what the fuck is going? Like, I get knocked down and then this fucker like I had to learn how to like play it correctly. And now I have, and it is really cool. It is really fun. I hope they make a sequel to it that's even better.
Guaranteed.
But it's confusing because it takes place 10 years before Star Wars A New Hope. And it's like this character in the game is not in any of the Star Wars movies. So like, yeah. This is the problem with building your lore sandwiched between two trilogies. It's like, or sandwiched between 1 and 2 trilogies. It's like, you only have so much time and continuity to play with. Like, I don't know why why not make this take place in a different galaxy, than Star Wars? It's the Star Wars universe, right. But it's a galaxy far, far away. What about the galaxy next to it? What about the fucking make new worlds, man? Make new lore. That's the thing that I feel like can't happen is people will use an IP and they're so restricted by it. And it's like, dude, they've already done the hard part of creating the world building. You just have a good story and characters. That's all you got to worry about. You already have the IP that people are going to want to engage in it with. You already have the cool, like whatever, like lightsabers and shit. Fucking just make a good story now. Stop obsessing over like connecting it to already existing storylines. So, that's the frustrating thing is like, I'm not invested in the character. In fact, the characters are not very interesting. They feel like they're pushed on you. Like that's the similarity between like Horizon Zero Dawn and this game is like the characters are like not interesting enough, but they write it and it's like the cinematics and the vibe of it have all this drama. Like it's all this like, I was going to tell you, but no, it's like you don't really care about them. But even just in general, without even getting too invested in him, it's still just like, all right, well, this guy, if this game rules, they can't make 6 games with this character because it's this character that doesn't exist within the lore that you're sandwiched between. So, but I will say, just like I said over the phone, like you go into a room and there's like 3 stormtroopers and like one, I think it's called like Purge Trooper. It's like a black stormtrooper with with
a Ronald Reagan mask on.
Yeah, exactly. He's like, you want to fucking play? It's the Purge. With like purple lightning blades and shit.
Right.
And it's like, okay, this is like you got to really be, you got to use your skills to take out all these guys. It's not just like Force Awakens or Force Unleashed where you just like you grab them all and slam them into the ground, or like you jump up really high and slam down on the ground and kill all. Like you're not that powerful yet, so
right. You're just a Padawan.
You're a mere Padawan, but a skilled Padawan, very skilled. You can force pull, you can force push, you can force slow. You can slow down like if there's a fan spinning, you can like slow it and like walk through it. And like,
oh, sick. And
like force pull, you like pull enemies to you and then hit them. There's a goddamn fly. And on all these are like involved with puzzles too. Like you can force pull like a rope to come near you so you can swing on it. Like it's cool too. But yeah, just really solid gameplay. And then I'm playing it on the PS5 version. Like I paid for the upgrade. So the PS4 disc just lets me play the PS5 version that I have downloaded, which is cool. It's annoying though, because like on your home screen, you get 2 Jedi Fallen Order icons, and it's like one's for the PS4 and one's for the PS5. And it's like the PS4 one has to be there because the disc has to be in, so that automatically brings it up to your home screen. And it's like, I really hate this. Like,
it's not aesthetic.
Not at all. Yeah. Not at all. But yeah, that game is really solid. And I'm gonna keep playing through it. And yeah, I hope they make another one, and I hope it's even better. There's apparently get a double-edged lightsaber also at some point too, like a Darth Maul saber. So I'm excited about that.
That was the one cool thing about the new Star Wars trilogy, is when Rey had that dark vision or whatever of like evil her, and she had like a double lightsaber, but it was like folded up, so it was like 2 sabers, and then she flung it out, and it was like a double-sided one.
Yeah, that was fucking nuts.
That was the only cool part of the whole trilogy,
basically. Yeah.
So the rest I don't need to see again, but I'll watch that clip.
Those trilogies are so sad because it's like the special effects in like Rogue One and like some of the sequel trilogy like look so amazing. Like that shot of like the Death Star like opening up, and it's like a huge shadows casting alongside of it. Like it looks gorgeous. But it's like there's nothing going on. There's just nothing interesting being like.
Yeah. I watched the first trailer that dropped again, like the one that came out for Force Awakens. No, Force Awakens way back in the day. I rewatched the trailer for that.
Made it look so good.
And it was like it was a teaser really, and it was just like a slow build up and like they're whispering some shit, and then the Millennium Falcon just pops out and it's like. And I'm like, God damn, I was so hyped for that.
Yeah.
But little did I know how ass it would all be.
Yeah, the first dead giveaway for me was how the stormtroopers looked. I was like, why are they so smooth? Like what's this smooth design? It was like they were turned into New York skyscrapers. It was like
they had like their eyes like connected to their mouths, like the window.
Yeah, it was just like this looks like a fucking like a Kia. Like you look like you're designed by the folks who make Kias in 2022. Like what the hell?
Miss me with that.
Yeah. That was the first thing I was like, don't love that. Really don't. I thought it was going to be kind of artsy too, because it was like that trailer opens up with just a wide shot of the what's it called? Jakar?
Jakar, yeah.
Jakku. Jafar.
Aladdin 5. Yeah. Jafar needs glasses. Yeah.
Jafar needs glasses. Oh my god, that's a classic. Holy shit. Yeah. Dude, how is Family Guy like holding up better and better by the day? Like with the ass we have to deal with, like just how stupid the bits are. Oh my Christ! But yeah,
what are you saying? Jakku would opened up with the wide shot,
and then Finn pops up, and it's like, oh, this is kind of like a cool, like you've never seen a shot like that really in Star Wars. Like it holds on the desert for, but no,
nope,
not at all, folks. Yo, but you've been watching the motherfucking House of the Dragon.
Yeah, I watched 2 episodes of it last night, and
what do you think?
I thought it was really solid.
Really?
Like, yeah, I was like, this is pretty fire. Like,
maybe I'll have to watch it then.
Yeah, I would give it a shot. I mean,
because it's based off of Game of Thrones.
Yeah, it takes place like about 200 years before.
Well, yeah. I started watching the first episode.
Yeah, and I know like a lot happens. You know, like the episodes feel like very eventful. Like they do a lot of cool scenes where like there's a scene where there's a jousting match, and it's like intertwined with another scene of something really intense going on, and like the sound like plays like someone screaming in one, and it fades into the crowd cheering and the jousting and shit. And there's some really insane like violent scenes where people are getting like their faces bashed in.
Holy shit.
Because I guess if you joust and then you get knocked off, but you still want to fight, you can just straight up fight the dude like one-on-one.
Wow. I guess jousting rules, you can just kill the guy, I think.
If you're mad, then if you lose, you can still kill him.
No, I think if you're mad, you could probably kill him.
You can smash his face with a mace. Yeah. No, it was
got it. Look, I got the fucking fly.
Nice. With your one finger? What? With your middle finger?
Yeah, dude. Dude, I grew up in Missouri. We're good at killing flies. I'll tell you that much.
One thing we're good at.
We're good at killing them flies, them mosquitoes. Yeah, I saw one of the clips where like a guy just gets like bashed off his horse, but the horse is dragging along the rail, and he's just like,
oh yeah, that was pretty cool. That was like Matt Smith, you know?
Yeah, who is
so he plays. What?
Go ahead, actually. Well, I was going to say, people on Twitter, I saw a tweet that's like, people say Matt Smith's not hot, but literally look at him. And then people are just quote tweeting with like, well, look at what? Because he looks like an evil scientist. Like right. He looks like one of those Prometheus like albino aliens.
No, like he's got a look to him for sure.
Yeah.
Like he looks great as like a Targaryen, like you know, because he looks so different with the long ass white hair. Yeah. But like his weird face, like works perfectly for it, you know.
Poor guy.
Like he looks him and the
bro has a 48-foot forehead is the thing.
Look at what?
I wish I could find the yeah, it's just like, dude, yeah, no. Like just Google Matt Smith and look at the on the little preview, look at the fourth picture. Like the one that kind of he looks like Elvis kind of.
Yeah,
you know, it's just like, dude, he has like he has extremely high cheekbones, and then he's got like this super high forehead, and then his eyes go far back. Brow. His eyes go far back into his skull. Yeah,
his brow
is very pronounced.
Bone, yeah.
Like
he looks like an Easter Island head.
He's handsome, but he's weird. Like that's every British guy now. It's like Benedict Cumberbatch, like Matt Smith. Right. They're handsome, but they're fucking weird, man. Like if you were on acid looking at them, you're like, dude, no, let's trip separately. Fuck. I would not be able to trip and look at it. It would go goblin mode so quickly. His face would go goblin mode so quickly, dude. Like, are you kidding me?
Yeah. No, but he's great in the show, though.
Yeah. Like he's a great actor. I loved his Doctor Who. I loved it. Yeah. I loved that.
Really, really everyone in the show was put up a solid performance. And that's kind of been a thing lately is like in a lot of shows, there's just been like an actor or two where you're just like, how'd this work out? Like Sandman, there's 2 actresses, and I'm like,
you're like, how did this happen?
Yeah,
there's a million actors. How?
Yeah. So that was nice, and the show looked like really good. Like a thing in like with like Rings of Power, like everything looks so artificial, you know. That's like the scene where she's putting helmets on like a pile of helmets that's like 20 feet tall.
Who? Wait, what?
And it's like in Rings of Power, you know, Galadriel's like placing the helmets of the dead like in a big pile or something.
Are you talking about just the first 2 episodes?
Yeah.
Okay, because the 3rd one came out last night. I got to watch it.
Yeah. Me too. I've only seen the first episode.
Oh, okay.
I don't think that even happens in the first episode. I just have seen that clip like in trailers and stuff.
Yeah.
It might have happened in the first. I forget. But one, it's like she's standing next to a pile that's like 20 feet tall and it's all helmets. So it's like you got to imagine she would just like tossing the helmets up to the top of the pile. They don't think about like just sort of like logic and stuff like that.
Right.
They're like, oh, you know, it'd be sick is like a 20-foot tall pile of helmets.
Yeah.
It's all CGI, and it's like okay, and it's just like a boring ass like side shot. I don't even know what you would call that, but like it's just her standing next to it, and it just I don't know. It looks like completely ephemeral. Like it's just not there.
Yeah,
you know. Versus this, like all the armor, all the sets, that all looks like really good. The boats and all that kind of stuff. The one where then in Lord of the Rings, they're like on that elven boat where they're all standing there. And I'm like, this isn't happening. Yeah, I don't know. It just seems like in like every sort of line that's spoken and every action that's taken in the first 2 episodes of this feel meaningful. Like they could come back later or they...
Rings of Power or House of Dragon?
No, House of Dragon versus because it's easy to compare the 2, obviously, like everyone's going to.
Yeah.
In Lord of the Rings, it just seems like a lot of empty sort of like faux intellectual kind of stuff. He's like, why does a ship float when a rock sinks? Because the ship is looking starward.
Right.
And the Rock is looking down. And you're like, what are you talking
Dwayne The Rock Johnson is looking down.
But Dwayne The Bone Johnson is looking down. Why does he sink? No. Versus this. Yeah, I don't know. Like immediately you can see like all the tension that's going to happen. Like all the conflicts that are going to happen. You know, the king is... You know, he's getting old and he's trying to have a baby with his old wife so that he has an heir. But he also has like some sort of like infection that he's hiding. So, you know, he's going to die soon, relatively. And, you know, and then Matt Smith is his brother who is the rightful heir, but he's like insane. So, you know, you're like, okay, this is really a Game of Thrones.
At the end of this is really a Rings of Power, I gotta say. I mean, I'll give Game of Thrones a watch. I think I just have like a really bad taste in my mouth from how it ended. 1 and
Me too.
And 2, I don't care as much about that world when it's not when it's not great writing wise. So,
well, that's the problem is that the king tells his daughter, he's like, there is a prophecy that a dark winter is coming from the north, and we'll need to have all the kingdoms united under House Targaryen to have a hope of stopping it. And you're like, oh, well, I know how that all ends. And it was completely anticlimactic and was stopped when a little girl stabbed the Night King somehow.
God damn it, dude. Just 5 seasons of build up for a fucking villain that just gets shanked in the back.
Yeah.
Unreal. Anyways. Yeah, so that's kind of where I come. I'll watch it. I think this Lord of the Rings show is interesting though, man. Like I may be off, but I think it could really be a big hit. I really do. They have 5 seasons planned, apparently. What I like is that they're only rolling out an episode a week.
Mhm.
I like that a lot. I think that builds up tension and drama and anticipation. I think that's just necessary for serialized shit. I'm digging it, honestly. Like, I think there's a lot of shit being set up. The one thing I'm not sure. The original Lord of the Rings trilogy had such great villains. Not just Saruman and Sauron, but also the orcs, the Uruk-hai,
Wormtongue.
The Uruk-hai and the orcs are like you can't come up with a better bad guy for Lord of the Rings heroes to fight. Yeah. Maybe they will, but yeah, I mean, orcs in general are sick though. Like if you got to rewatch the first episode and see the beginning where they're like, and then we went to Middle Earth to fight off this great danger, Morgoth. And then there's like a huge battle scene that's literally like the Fellowship of the Ring opening battle scene, but like on crack. Like it's even more insane looking visually.
Okay. Yeah, I missed that.
You should check. You should really rewatch the first basically 5 minutes of it. So that was like really promising for the rest of the series, like seeing that little beginning portion. I was like, okay, they're really going for it. What also is exciting is that Sauron is an enemy, is the antagonist of this, and you're watching Celebrimbor. Celebrimbor's in it, who is the
guy that makes the rings.
Who makes the ring. So we're about to watch basically the beginning of Lord of the Rings take place over 5 seasons. Like that intro, like that's going to be, do we get to see a Isildur at a certain point? Does he kill Sauron? So. Do we watch him decline? Like, is all that going to be like, that's really cool. Because that's a really compelling story. You know?
I agree, yeah.
That's what primes Lord of the Rings to be so epic, is that prequel, that prologue to it. So, and also I think all the acting is pretty good in Rings of Power. It's passable. It's not like exceptional.
No one stood out to me.
The show, nothing about the show is exceptional. It's just like really watchable, and also it's from a like set design, budget, art style, commitment level. They're really trying to make it look good and epic and accurate. Like it's definitely based on the Peter Jackson Lord of the Rings aesthetic. And there's only been a couple scenes where I'm like, that looks really fake. And I think the one of them was when they're walking to, this is in the second episode, they're like walking up to a mountain where the dwarves live. There's like a wide shot there, and then there's like in it's not even Rivendell or whatever, but it's one of the Elven havens. It looks really like there's one part where it's just like, all right, this looks too good and fake. But for the most part, a lot of this has just looked good.
As long as it looks better than the fucking Hobbit trilogy.
That's what's funny is this is already way more interesting from a pacing, character, storytelling perspective than the Hobbit was. Like it looks dope. So I think what's also crazy is it's only 8 episodes, bro. This season's only going to be 8 episodes.
Thought it was 10. 8. Thought it was 10. Is it only 8?
Dude, no, it's only going to be 8. But each episode's like 65 to 70 minutes long. So yeah, I'm looking forward to watching the new episode. I have a feeling it's going to be a pretty big fucking hit, frankly.
Yeah, no, I mean, it remains to be seen. I don't want it to fail.
I mean, I don't care either way, but it'd be cool.
Right. Yeah, I'm not, I'm neither here nor there on it, but I don't know. Just like, especially when you compare it to the Game of Thrones episode, it's like the amount of stuff that happened in the first episode of Game of Thrones versus Lord of the Rings is very easy to compare. Like Lord of the Rings is just a lot of scene, like, you know, like the fucking Harfoots, or like she's sitting there picking berries, and she's like talking to, I don't think it's her mom, because the mom is like the older lady is black and she's not. So I think it's just like a older lady friend, but she's like, you know, I want to get out and see the world. And she's like, oh no, the Harfoots can't do that. That's why we're safe, because we stay here. And it's just like, I don't know, just like scenes like that where
kind of
like, oh, man, I wonder if she's, yeah. And
it's like, okay, I wonder if she's adventurous.
Right. Man, I wonder if she's going to go out and see the world.
I don't mind that. I'm realizing, I've been watching all the Harry Potter movies. I don't mind being talked to directly and clearly like an absolute child. I really don't mind it.
No.
If it's good and not cringy, I don't really mind it. Like that scene I liked, because she's like, look, the dwarves have their mines that they have to take care of. You know, the fucking men have their grains, the fucking whatever. Like they built a world in that little dialogue sequence. She's like, and we fucking don't do shit. We just travel around and we stay safe. And it's
smoke loud.
No. we continue to engineer that za that everyone wants. We roll the best za on Middle Earth. That's what we do.
Sticky icky.
Yeah. When you step outside and smell that za, you know you're in Harfoot territory.
No, yeah. I don't know. I don't want to be too hard on it.
Yeah, but be hard on it. It's a goddamn Amazon show. We should be,
right. I'm just saying, I don't want to like just by default be like, fucking big corporation made it, so it obviously sucks.
You and I are never like that, in my opinion.
No, yeah.
I'm never, even the most soulless corporate product, I'm morbidly fascinated by. I am.
Right. Yeah.
I will watch anything. I watched the goddamn Scooby-Doo Scoob movie. I watched Space Jam 2. I watched Sonic the Hedgehog 2. I'll watch anything, you know, and then I'll go and watch a fucking Jacques Demy film, or no, who's the fucking guy who's at Film Forum right now? Fucking my butt.
Jeff.
Jeff, they're showing Jeff films.
Because it's insane.
I'll watch fucking Sonic the Hedgehog 2, and then I'll fucking go watch a fucking movie by Alain Resnais. You know?
Who's that?
It's a French director. New wave French director, you know? I'll do that. So it's all about broadening your palate. Okay? Going to the mat. Yo, and fucking what's funny is like She-Hulk is still like that, like dude, we've been saying it for years. It's like what we say every episode, but like I love how, by the way, you haven't even mentioned that you watched or checked out She-Hulk at all. Like that's,
I haven't.
That's just not even going to happen.
No, I checked out after Moon Knight.
Yeah. Was there any show between Moon Knight and She-Hulk or no?
Yeah, Miss Marvel.
Oh, okay.
I didn't check
more
that
like
out yet.
Miss Snoozle.
Connor. more like Miss.
More like Miss Midville. Yeah. And it's just like She-Hulk looks like hot, steaming, flaming garbage.
Yeah.
Ooh, garbage. Garbage that has turds in it.
There's like, did you see the after credit shit about her twerking and shit with Meg the Stallion? Yeah,
that was the closest I had ever had to not being attracted to Meg the Stallion. Meg the Stallion also did an interview talking to Hillary Clinton and Hillary's whatever her fucking name is, her daughter, talking to Hillary Clinton about God knows what, her anxiety or something. And it's like, why? Like, just, can you stop short of politicians? Like, can you please, right. Like, I get you're rich and you're famous and you care, but like, please, like, just divert from that. Find other shit. Don't go talk to fucking, like, don't be a total celebrity, but live your life. Yeah, that twerking She-Hulk thing. And people are like, what are you, gay? You don't like twerking? It's like, that's not even like, that's not even close to why that's annoying.
It's like, it's as like hello fellow kids as you can get, like, for that show, you know?
Yeah,
like,
it's sad.
Yeah.
And it's like, at least make the CGI good, dude. At least make it good.
Right.
Well, or make the show around it good. If it was a good show and that was in it, I'd be like, that was crazy.
Right. If the CGI was bad, but like it was actually an engaging story.
Yeah.
Yeah. And writing and the dialogue was good. And it wasn't just this like insanely predictable, just like middle class white woman struggles, like,
right. And
like,
just,
I control my anger when I get catcalled, and I'm like you're talking, he's like, I control my anger way better than you, Bruce. And I'm like, what are you talking about?
He's the goddamn Hulk, dude. Like, what are you talking about? He's like, yeah, it's true. I don't even know what I'm doing. It's like, this guy is an Avenger, like,
yeah,
you know, he's the fucking Hulk. And she's like, you don't know the first thing about being a Hulk. Like,
right. Just like, yeah, he learned to be Hulk full time, for one.
Yeah.
And two.
And then it's like being harassed as a woman in all of that, like, is that makes perfect sense. Like but notice the complete lack of subtlety, saying just like, when I get catcalled, it's like, who wrote this? There's no like, yeah, well, you know, you're a man, so there's different types of angers. You don't have to, you know, it's like no nuance, no like subtlety to the right. Like you could have the same, but it's just got to be this fucking blunt, stupid first drafty ass screenplay. Like a new episode on the newest episode, they spoil the biggest spoiler in Sopranos. They give it away. They just fire it off. They mention it like it's nothing. Like it's nothing. Like because fucking Benedict Wong's character is dancing in front of his HBO Max on a TV in one scene, and then
awesome.
Some girl accidentally teleports into his home, and he's like, "What the fuck are you doing?" And she's like, "Oh my god, are you watching Sopranos? This is the episode where beep happens."
Cool.
And he's like, "You just ruined it." Even in the show, he's like, "You just ruined it. Why did you say that? You just ruined it." And it's for a completely pointless, meaningless joke.
Right. Yeah. The decision to write that and film it and all that was, I guess the idea behind it was like, this will be funny. Will it serve the plot? Will it, you know, create?
It's a reference. Our metrics have shown us that Sopranos is really popular right now. Meg Thee Stallion's also really popular. Let's incorporate them in She-Hulk. Hashtag She-Hulk.
Yeah.
Like, that's what I've been told is that, like, or maybe you mentioned this, Max maybe was talking about it. There's no more infrastructure, or maybe this was even Yodoye. I don't remember who. I feel like I talk to so many people all the time now. I can't even remember who said this, but there's no like infrastructure anymore in the entertainment industry. There's no people to like drive trucks and gaff and do all like the actual labor. It's all just people on laptops who are marketing, data analysts, these type of people that like, oh, this is really trending.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, yeah, it's like just pathetic, and it's diluted so that it takes up 8 to 10 episodes so that they can stream more, you know, that they can just, and then it'll be like episode 4 She-Hulk, like Reed Richards shows up or something like that. It'll be like, no freaking way.
Johnny Kraz?
It'll be like, oh my God, Invisible Girl. You know, it'll be something like that. Like, wow, the ending of She-Hulk was mind blowing. And it's just, that's what they do. It's like the Star Wars show. It's like Obi-Wan Kenobi. It's like 8 episodes of like running around with a little girl. I haven't even seen it, but it's like it's like 8 episodes of running around with a little girl hiding from an Inquisitor. And then it's like, oh, Darth Vader just shows up and fucking fights Obi-Wan again. It's like, that's so fucking dumb. It would have been so much cooler if the last time they had seen each other on the goddamn Death Star was when he sliced his fucking legs off.
Yeah.
That would have been way more dramatic if A New Hope and the end of Return of the Jedi or Revenge of the Sith were actually the first. That was it. But instead, it's Darth Vader coming in and fighting him in a sand dune. Like, what are you talking about? That is what
happened. That is what happened because everything that Disney has made is not canon. It's Disney Star Wars.
Yeah, exactly.
Star Wars ended after
my boy Lucas. That's it. Yeah. Lucas lore, and that's it. I don't give a fuck about the Dave Filoni universe. I don't give a fuck about Clone Wars. The Genndy Tartakovsky is the only non-Lucas trilogy Star Wars shit that is actual canon to me. That is actual canon to me. Like, that's how Anakin got his scar. That's how the Clone Wars were like between episode 2 and 3. That is canon to me. All this crap, that Clone Wars CGI show, Ahsoka and all these fucking, they never happened, bro. They never, that's not real. Darth Maul didn't get a fucking tarantula. None of that shit happened. None of that shit happened. And you can cry about it. But I am not that. The sequel trilogy, not canon. Not canon. Like, none of this shit is canon. If goddamn George Lucas wasn't wearing a fucking belt under his gut and drinking a Diet Coke and typing it out on a goddamn Macintosh, none of it's real, man. Like, that's the thing.
It's fairy dust.
It's fairy dust. It's a fugazi. It's fairy dust. It all is, man. Fuck that shit. It pisses me off. Yeah. When are you going to get Ahsoka? Oh my God, Ahsoka has a different outfit in Mandalorian Season 3. No, I can't say it. But kill that idea in your head. That's like, that's not real, man. That's not real. What are you talking about?
Luke being a fucking pathetic ass loser drinking like sea cow titty milk.
Fuck you. Living on a fucking spire in the middle of like the Scottish coast. Whatever the fuck that is. No.
Yeah, and he's like the meme, I don't know if I sent it to you, but he's like, my father can still be saved. There's a good man in him somewhere. And then it's like him looking over Kylo and he's like, this motherfucker having a bad dream. I'm gonna kill him.
I should kill him.
He's like,
better
my
murder.
Sister and brother-in-law.
Yeah, what a fucking joke, dude. And people say that's a good movie, The Last Jedi. Get your fucking brain rewired, you fucking idiot. You fucking moron.
Fucking stupid dumb asshole.
You're fucking dumb. How do you sit through that and not want to drive a fucking K-bar knife into your heart and stop it as quickly as possible? Oh my God.
That was the least Star Wars scene ever. Like, just having a flashback like that. Like,
the real least Star Wars scene ever was like when Rey and fucking Kylo like take out the fucking Imperial Guards together. It was like, who are these fucking characters we don't give a fuck about? Right. Oh, actually, Rey is Palpatine's daughter, and Palpatine's back, and then she kills him. It'd be like if you wrote an outline of the trilogy, I'd be like, this is garbage. Get it out of here. Like, this is fucking garbage. And I tolerated much more Rise of Skywalker than Last Jedi. But holy shit, man. Like, none of that shit fucking happened. It's the Skywalker saga, not even the 9 through 11 or 7 through 9. That didn't happen. That's not the Skywalker saga to me at all. It's the Skywalker saga and Genndy Tartakovsky Clone Wars. And that's it, man. That's it.
That's all you need.
That's it. You know?
Yeah, it's I don't know. It's kind of like how I feel about in a much less severe way how I feel about the new Lord of the Rings. Just because
The Hobbit or the show?
Both.
Yeah. Well, for me, the show is like it's better when it's trying to do its own thing.
Mm-hmm.
Because this is the distinction for me. If a show like Rings of Power can be like, we're going to make our own story and our own characters and have that be interesting. Maybe some of them are from Lord of the Rings, but we're going to make our own version of a story, and we're not going to rely on constantly nodding to, well, you know, the great battle of this is coming up, or remember the snap, remember that, like, not constantly referring to other shit. If it can just be its own thing and not constantly be about events that happened in other shit, but events that you haven't seen before, like the rings being made and Sauron and shit, then it'll be good. The Hobbit sucks ass because it sucks ass. And it's just like, frankly, it's like a fucking 250 page book stretched out over 9 hours. Like, it doesn't make any sense. And none of the characters are like, almost none of them are fucking memorable in the slightest. So, right.
There's the one like leader dwarf.
Baldur,
like basically just Aragorn. Yeah.
Balon.
Yeah. That's from House of Dragons. Balon.
Oh, I'm just making shit up. So.
Yeah.
Eowyn, Feowyn, and Beowyn. Beowulf.
Yeah.
Beowulf.
Indeed.
Yeah.
What was his name?
Grindelwart or whatever the Grindel. Grendel, yeah.
Dude, one time me and my brother and dad and some of my cousins were chilling at my uncle's house, and we were talking about Grendel, and we just kept trying to think of like ways we could increase the length of this sentence of like Grendel's greasy, grimy gooch, or what was it? Grundle? Or what would you call that? Grendel's greasy, grimy Grundle? Or like Grendel's great, greasy, grimy, grapey. We got it to like 20 words.
Holy shit, that's so funny.
My cousin's cousin was there. He's not related to us, but he was just like, what the fuck? Or like, like, even my dad was playing along.
No way, that's so funny.
Yeah. And Grendel's great, greasy, grimy, grody, gracious, gratuitous, grimy gooch? Greasy?
Yeah, greasy, grimy, grindly, grippy, grippable.
Yeah. Grippable.
Yeah. Grippable, grimy gooch. Grendel's greasy, grippable, grimy gooch. Holy fuck, that's hilarious, dude.
Yeah, it was a good time. It's a formative memory in my life.
The gooch spiders that's always the funniest. Gooch spiders is the funniest concept I think that's ever been. Like, I never forget the gooch spiders.
Yeah, R.I.P. To the gooch spider.
The gooch spider king.
Yeah,
R.I.P. Forever.
100%. But it was necessary.
God, that was so funny, dude. Well, we talked about a lot. It was a good episode.
We did, yeah.
Is there anything else we need to say about? Let's see. We have She-Hulk, Rings of Power, House of Dragon.
The rehearsal.
Well, I was
about that next time with Max.
Yeah, we can talk about that. Yeah. I was going to just say that this was the other point I was going to make is like, I know we get to this point every episode where we're just complaining about the same thing for the same reasons again, because these shows never end. So we're always talking about them. But, like, the reception of the recent Marvel shit has not been good. The current phase has not been good. No Way Home is like, they're like, I liked the second Doctor Strange movie, but it was pretty forgettable. It's kind of like an episode of a TV show. You just want to keep, all right, what happens next?
It would have been good as if that was a Marvel TV show,
right? It
would have easily been the best Marvel TV show.
I think we even said this. So it's like, okay, you have No Way Home doing really well. Fucking all the other shit, not good, not received well. None of the shows, those haven't had impact. None of the movies have had impact. Love and Thunder is already streaming. That came out like 2 months ago. Your shit is a dud. No one went to see these things, man. So now you've committed to like 3 more phases that I'm assuming development wise are not going to stray aesthetically, thematically, or writing wise from what you're already doing. So are you going to spend 4 more years investing in this type of shit? In this same, I mean, like, because I can feel it coming. There is even in the mainstream, there is a big, people are fucking tired of the MCU shit. They really are. Like the joke of like an MCU, like Marvel fans when their dad dies and there's no witty joke after it. Like those memes are like, you're seeing it. And then now you have a generation that grew up as a child watching these and is now making fun of them, but you're going to make them the same way. Like if someone was born in 2000, they were 12 when Avengers came out. Okay. That was 10 years ago. So, and now we're moving into a different phase of culture and everything. So, are you going to get fucked? You're making 3 Avengers movies, I think, or at least 2.
Do they have enough of a viewer base and a fan base that they can do this and just make less, but make so much of it that it offsets that?
I'm afraid to say that sounds quite accurate. Because when you
think.
said, do they have a big enough viewer base? I'm thinking of the people that actually go to like Star Wars conventions now or Marvel Hall H Comic-Con presentations. And there are, I mean, dude, when I saw Multiverse of Madness and when I saw the premiere, they had invited hordes of cosplayers and fans and influencers and people who, I mean, it is frightening. It is like seeing fucking the Third Reich, like in the in terms of like, wow, there's so many fanatics. There's millions of people lined up standing here for this. It's like they have amassed an empire of fucking committed fans who, dude, the cosplayers are wearing like it looks so like the shit they're wearing is like Hollywood level costumes, like. Mm-hmm. They have in Star Wars and Marvel and Disney in general have a horde of people, dude. A horde that are ready to fucking go.
Yeah. No, and it's like, each of the Star Wars movies, the new ones, like made less each time. Right. There's like 2 billion, 1.5 billion, 1 billion. They're still making $1 billion. Or I mean, they spend like 300 million on it, maybe 400 after marketing and shit. So they're still making $500 million.
But I think you're right. It's starting to siphon off. Like they're starting to diversify their revenue streams with the TV and shit. And soon, I guarantee you, Marvel and shit's going to go into like AI influencer, e-influencer. Like, you know how there's like that AI rapper. There's like little Michaela. Mm-hmm. Like they're going to go into that. Also, they're going to have like superheroes that have like a social media presence and they do like micro content. Oh. They're going to definitely do that because they're trying to get their money in a more thinned out, spread out way by making all this shit. Because the game of doing these big passes of like hoping that you score a touchdown on fucking a movie that costs several $100 million, they're getting tired of that shit. They're cutting corners. They're cutting corners on everything. So I think that's where they're moving to. And I think we're about to see, it's very possible based on this year alone, because this year alone, you're already stacking it up. You're already stacking up the doo-doo, in the collection here. We might see a complete inverse quality-wise, a complete inverse downslope from like, if you follow Iron Man to Endgame, we might get that same length of downfall from Marvel. They may make, 15, 20 more movies that just get progressively fucking more terrible. Because how are you going to steer a ship away from its formula, its trajectory, when you have billions backing up your model? And it's the same producers, Kevin Feige, all those people. It's the same people making it. Kathleen Kennedy or whatever. Like, I don't know if she still works there, but
oh, she does.
Oh, she does. Kathleen Kennedy still works at Disney for now. Yeah, man. I think it's very possible we could see like something that almost negates the whole MCU in terms of like, yeah, there was a good stretch, but then they squeezed it out for another decade and it was fucking god awful, so it's wild, man.
I think, they've put themselves into a pickle because they're trying to figure out what to do after such a perfect run. not a perfect run, but a really good run, unmatched,
very successful run.
In history.
Yeah.
And they think that the answer is to deconstruct it and make everything a joke and have She-Hulk make Hulk look like a little bitch and call Captain America a virgin and call Iron Man a narcissistic orphan playboy or whatever, billionaire playboy orphan.
Yeah.
And I'm like, these people sacrificed their lives in this universe. And we're supposed to like laugh at they literally, and obviously they're fake people, but
the Hulk put his fucking hand in the Infinity Gauntlet and did this snap reverse. And she's like, yeah, maybe you'll learn a thing or two from me. It's like, okay, yeah, maybe, but can there be a little bit more nuance? Like, can you account for some of this shit? You know what I mean?
Could you be a likable character?
Yeah, could you not be so goddamn one-dimensional?
Right. Could you have some flaws? Like in the comics, she like has a problem with partying and she gets fired from her job because she's like got too drunk or did something like that. And I'm like, that would have been cool.
That's cool.
Like,
that's not part of the show.
No, not at all. I mean,
I'm assuming in the show she's just like really good at her job and great at everything.
She gets fired. Well, yeah. She's like a lawyer and she gets fired because during like a trial, she had to turn into She-Hulk to save people. So I guess she got fired for that because it was a mistrial. And then she just gets another job immediately.
So not a flaw, not her fault. Not a mistake.
Just everything. Just no obstacle for her to overcome. She just gets a new job and and makes quips about heroes, I guess, and how they're lame or something like that.
I might have to watch this, unfortunately, just to get my eyeballs on it and really see what Marvel's has to offer.
Yeah, no, it could be entenning. Actually,
yeah, maybe I'll watch it
in all the wrong ways.
Maybe I'll watch it before next episode and just kind of really give you the because what I want to avoid is like, oh, it's She-Hulk, it's just a girl show, I'm not watching that. It's like, no, this is a Marvel property. This is like,
yeah, and she's a legitimate character. Like she had a very popular run.
And we got to
when she first started.
We got to give these shows. You have to give these shows a look. You can't just dismiss them because if you give them a look, it's like you'll get a more nuanced appreciation of why it's bad instead of just like how bad it looks on the surface. So, it legitimizes our
disdain for it. If we're just like, I know it's not good, even though you haven't seen it. Well, that's not a very interesting take.
Yeah.
So I'll watch it if you do.
All right. Well, maybe we'll do that.
Binge a few episodes today. Yeah.
Dude, great episode.
100%.
Yeah.
It was a ripper.
Max, if you listened all the way through, we miss you, buddy. Well, come back safe. We'll see you on the next episode, Max. And
don't go smashing your toes.
Don't smash your toe again. Yeah, man, that's gonna be it for us, folks. If we spouted out a lot of opinions, so if you want to email us and join the conversation, wokenbokepodcast@gmail.com. Give us an email. We always love them, even though it seems like every time I open them, I'm like acting like I'm so inconvenienced and they're stupid. But we love all of them, man. It's also just funny when people write emails and it's just like a little incoherent or like it's like, what was this? Like, I love that, honestly.
Less coherent, the better.
Yeah, man. Woke Boke motherfuckers. Enjoy your week. Talk to you soon. Much love. Peace.